One of you please confirm if my voice is clear and you are able to see my screen. Yes?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. So in the previous class, we started discussing LC oscillators. Okay. And we have seen that there are two categories under LC oscillator. One is Hartley oscillator and Colpitts oscillator. The important point is the general structure of both these oscillators is the same. Okay, the general structure of both these oscillators is the same. We have amplifier Z1, Z2, Z3. Okay, in the case of Hartley oscillator, Z1, Z2 are inductors, Z3 is capacitor. In the case of Colpitts oscillator, Z1, Z2 are capacitors, Z3 is inductor. Okay, Colpitts, remember two capacitors. Okay, Hartley, Hartley has no C, isn't it? So remember, but L is there. So remember, two inductors for Hartley, two inductors, one capacitor for Hartley. For Colpitts, starting with C, so remember two capacitors. Z1 is capacitor, Z2 is capacitor, Z3 is inductor. Okay, so all this we have seen. Now, whatever we analyze, okay, to this circuit, that is valid for both Colpitts as well as Hartley oscillator. Okay, so the expression that we are going to derive now is the general expression valid for a LC oscillator. It could be Hartley, it could be Colpitts. Okay, so now first, okay, we have what we have done. We have considered the general form of an LC oscillator circuit. Okay. Then we have replaced the amplifier block with the approximate H parameter model of the transistor. Okay, right? And then what we have done in the previous class, when we replace the amplifier with the approximate model, we observed that the HIE and Z1 were in parallel. The parallel combination of HIE and Z1, we have given a new name. We have called it as Z dash. Z dash is nothing but the parallel combination of Z1 and HIE. Okay. Then what we have done is, here we can observe that the amplifier input is between 1 and 3, output is between 2 and 3. Okay. And now coming to the right side circuit, the impedances between 2 and 3, if we observe, we have Z2 in this path, and then in this path we have Z3, right, in series with Z dash. This parallel combination of Z1 and HIE, we already call it as Z dash, isn't it? So it appears that the load impedance, as discussed, output is between 2 and 3. So the impedance, the equivalent impedance that we get between 2 and 3 will be the load impedance to the amplifier block. Okay. So the load impedance to the amplifier block is nothing but Z2 in parallel with Z3 plus Z dash. Okay. So the load impedance is Z2. The load impedance is parallel combination of Z2 and Z3 plus Z dash. Okay, right? The formula for parallel, 1 by ZL is equals to 1 by ZX plus 1 by ZY. Parallel formula, two impedance is very famous formula. I hope everybody know. Okay, so that we are using. So we are taking the parallel combination of Z2 in parallel with Z3 plus Z dash. Okay. So this is the formula for Z2 in parallel with Z3 plus Z dash. Okay. Then what we already discussed this simplification. Till here we discussed the simplification. Okay, so ZL we got is Z1 Z2 HIE plus Z1 Z2 Z3 plus Z2 Z3 HIE by Z1 Z2 plus Z2 HIE plus Z1 HIE plus Z1 Z3 plus Z3 HIE, right? So what we have done, after taking the parallel combination, Z dash is nothing but the parallel combination of Z1 and HIE. Okay, so Z dash is in two places we have Z dash, so we are replacing Z dash with Z1 HIE by Z1 plus HIE. Second place also we are replacing Z dash with Z1 HIE by Z1 plus HIE. Then we are simplifying, we got this, right? So very simple mathematical, school level mathematical steps we are doing, right? And this, we don't have common denominator in the numerator. In the denominator, it is not in proper form. Multiplying numerator and denominator with Z1 plus HIE. This is the expression we got. This also we discussed in the previous class. Now, in this expression, what we can observe is numerator, first term has Z2, second term has Z2, third term also has Z2. Okay, so we can take Z2 common in the numerator. Furthermore, first term has HIE, last term also has HIE. So already Z2 taken common. Then HIE if we take common, Z2 already taken common. HIE also if we take common, Z1 will remain here. And in this last term, Z3 will remain. Okay. So what we are taking first overall Z2 we are taking common. Then two HIE terms we have. So HIE also we are taking. Okay. Then remaining Z1, Z2, Z3. Already Z2 we have taken common. So Z1, Z3 will remain. Okay. So that is the simplification. Additionally, we are doing in the numerator. Then in the denominator, here we can observe there are three HIE terms. Z2 into HIE, Z1 into HIE, Z3 into HIE. So in the denominator also we can take HIE common. If we take HIE common, Z1 plus Z2 plus Z3. HIE we are taking common, Z1 plus Z2 plus Z3. Okay. Right. Then what else is remaining? We have Z1, Z2. We are writing as it is. Then we have Z1, Z3. That also we are writing as it is. Okay. So in simple words, what we are doing? We are taking ZL. Okay. ZL. We are taking as the impedance between the output terminals 2 and 3, which is nothing but Z2 in parallel with Z3 plus Z dash. Okay. Z dash is nothing but Z1 HIE by Z1 plus HIE. So that Z dash, we are taking the parallel formula, then Z dash we are replacing with Z1 HIE by Z1 plus HIE. Simplifying this ZL we are getting. Okay, so the impedance between the terminals 2 and 3, we are calling it as the load impedance, ZL, and this is a lengthy expression we got for ZL. Okay, so why we are doing that is because we want to check what is the condition for oscillations. A beta should be 1. The two conditions for oscillations is A beta should be 1 and the phase shift around the mod A beta should be 1. Okay, the product of A and beta should be 1 and the total phase shift around the closed loop should be 0 or 360 degrees. So to check the condition mod A beta equal to 1, what we are doing is, okay, we are first finding the load impedance. Okay, after finding the load impedance, it becomes very easy to find the A. Okay, then we will find beta, then we will do A beta equal to 1, and whatever the condition we get, those condition will be the condition for sustained oscillations. Okay. Also, we will get the expression for frequency of oscillations. Okay, anyway, so the impedance at the output terminals, ZL, right? We got it as this very lengthy expression. Now, let us discuss voltage gain without feedback. Means voltage gain of this amplifier block alone. The gain, voltage gain of this amplifier block alone. Okay. Now, voltage gain. What is the expression for voltage gain? Anybody answer? Easy question. Same from first unit onwards, we are discussing this. Expression for voltage gain. What is it? What is the
Output
expression?
voltage by input voltage.
Very good. Output voltage divided by input voltage. Okay. So the voltage gain of this amplifier block alone, okay, the voltage gain means A, right? A. The voltage gain of this amplifier block alone will be the output voltage, means voltage between terminals 2 and 3 divided by input voltage. Input voltage means voltage between 1 and 3. Okay. So here, now the current we already have here, right? The current we can see at the output side, it is HFE IB. Input side also current is in IB, right? So the trick or the idea is this: if we represent the output voltage in terms of IB, if we represent the input voltage in terms of IB will cancel, then we will get an expression. Okay, so the plan is to represent the output voltage in terms of IB, then input voltage in terms of IB. Okay, so output voltage first. Now actually IB is flowing, right, from 2 to 3. Okay, but output voltage we have to take from, okay, the output voltage we have to take from, right, we can take from 2 to 3, this path, okay, or this path, or the combination of both the paths. Okay, so what I am trying to say is the current in anti-clockwise direction is HFE IP. So what will be the current in clockwise direction?
Minus HA.
Yes, the current in, very good. The current in clockwise direction will be minus HFE IP. Okay. Now, this minus HFE IP is coming here. Okay. And it is dividing in Z2 and Z3. Okay. It is dividing. But, okay, we already called the entire impedance as ZL. Okay. So Z2 in parallel with Z3 and Z dash means this entire impedance Z2, Z3, Z1, HIE, all these 4 together, we already named it as ZL. We already named it as ZL. Okay. Now, the HFE IP which, okay, or let us consider in clockwise direction. The minus HFE IP which now comes here, it flows through entire ZL. Although between Z to Z3 it is dividing. However, when we consider ZL as the whole, the 4 resistors together is ZL. Okay. So this minus HFE IP is now flowing through ZL, which is again between 2 and 3, isn't it? ZL, we consider the equivalent impedance between 2 and 3. Okay. One path is this Z2, another path is Z3 in parallel with Z dash. Okay. So what I am trying to say is the impedance between 2 and 3 is ZL, a combination of these 4 resistors Z1, 4 impedances Z1, Z2, Z3, etc. Okay. The impedance between 2 and 3 is ZL, the current flowing, okay, between the current flowing is minus HFE IB. The current flowing through ZL is minus HFE IB. So what will be the output voltage? Ohm's law. Please answer. What will be the output voltage? The impedance at the output terminal we are calling load impedance ZL. Okay. The current flowing through that load impedance is minus HFE IB. Okay, that also we discussed. So what will be the output voltage? Please answer, easy question. What will be the output voltage?
Minus ZL into HFE.
Very good, correct answer. Minus HFE IB into ZL. Okay, perfect, good. So the output voltage here is minus HFE IB into ZL. Input voltage very easy. Between 2 and input voltage is between 1 and 3. Okay, input voltage is between 1 and 3. So already output we got in terms of IB. Input to get in terms of IB, very easy, between 1 and 3. What is the expression for input voltage in terms of IB? Can anybody answer? You can see at that. Just by looking at the circuit, you can answer. Very easy question. What is the input voltage in terms of IB? See, between 1 and 3, IB is flowing through HIE, only one component. Okay. So what will the input voltage be equal to? Easy question. Ohm's law, that's it. What will be the input voltage? Fast quiz. In terms of IB. Yes, please answer.
IB into HIE.
Very good, correct answer. So the input voltage here, okay, we can see IB between 1 and 3 is the input, okay, and between 1 and 3, IB is flowing through HI. So the input voltage or the voltage between 1 and 3 is HIE into IB, okay. And your friend has given the correct answer. The voltage between 2 and 3 is minus HFE IB into ZL. So what will be the voltage gain? Voltage gain will be minus HFE IB ZL divided by HIE IB. Isn't it? Yes. So what will be the expression for voltage gain? IB will cancel. What will be the expression? Please answer.
Minus HFE ZL by HIE.
Very good. Minus HFE ZL by HI. Okay. So the expression for voltage gain will be, here we can see, minus HFE ZL by HI. Actually, it is minus HFE IB ZL by HIE IB. The IB in the numerator and the IB in the denominator will cancel. And this is the expression for the voltage gain, means the gain of only this amplifier block. Okay, the gain of, not the entire gain, this is the gain of only this amplifier block. That is the reason we are calling it as, okay, without feedback. Voltage gain without feedback. Voltage gain without feedback means voltage gain of this amplifier block alone, only this one block. Okay. So as discussed, we are getting the expression for voltage gain as minus HFE ZL by HI. Okay, right? We have discussed this circuit, and then from the circuit we understood the expression minus HFE ZL by HI. However, we have already done lot of analysis in first unit. So based on that analysis, you can remember the formula. Usually voltage gain is current gain ZL by the input resistance. Okay, right? If you can't remember, okay, so this is the formula. AI, you can represent it as, in this case, AI is minus HFE. Okay, in this case, AI is minus HFE, output current by input current. ZL is as it is, RI is the input resistance. Okay. If you don't remember, best method is avoid remembering, use logic. Like here we have used. The current in anti-clockwise direction is HFE. So current in clockwise direction means current entering the terminal 2 here is minus HFE. The impedance between 2 and 3 is these four impedances Z2, Z3, Z1, HIE. Together we named it as ZL. So the impedance, the equivalent impedance between 2 and 3 is ZL. Okay. And the current flowing through that ZL is minus HFE. So the output voltage is minus HFE into ZL. Input voltage, very easy, IP into HI. So voltage gain, voltage gain is nothing but output voltage by input voltage. So minus HFE into ZL by HIE. IB will cancel. So minus HFE ZL by HI. Minus HFE ZL by HI. Now it becomes very easy. Already ZL expression we got, this lengthy expression. Okay. So if you multiply with minus HFE and divide by HIE to the ZL, we get AB, right? The condition is A beta equal to 1. Already we got AB. Okay, the condition is AB into beta equal to 1. Already AB we got. So next target is to find beta. Okay. Beta is nothing but, okay, the feedback voltage divided by the output voltage. Beta is nothing but the feedback voltage divided by the output voltage. Okay, so here first let us discuss the expression for output voltage. Okay, so the output voltage here, the output voltage means the voltage between 2 and 3. See now for finding beta, okay, for finding beta, it is easier. See, for finding voltage gain, we've got both input voltage and output voltage in terms of IB cancelled, we got expression. Now for finding the expression for beta means feedback path. In the feedback path, the current we can see is I1. So if we can get the output voltage V0 as well as the feedback voltage VFB, both in terms of I1, then I1 will cancel. We will get an expression for beta. So the plan is now to get output voltage in terms of I1, then input voltage also, feedback voltage also in terms of I1. So I1 will cancel. We will get an expression for beta. So first, the output voltage. Okay, the output voltage is between 1 and 3. Okay, between 1 and 3. I said I want it in terms of I1. So it is better we choose this path. Okay. And in this path, what are the impedances we are encountering? From 2 to 3 in this path. One is we are encountering Z3. Another is this parallel combination, already we called it as Z dash. Okay. So can anybody answer what will be the expression for the output voltage in terms of Z3 and Z dash? Yes, please answer. Yes, somebody's mic is on. Please answer. What will be the expression for the voltage from 2 to 3, okay, in this path? This is Z3, this is Z dash. So what will output voltage be? Please answer. Yes, somebody's mic is on. Students, somebody's mic is on. Yeah, please answer. Okay, see, from 2 to 3 in this path, okay, from 3 to 2, right, the current flowing in anti-clockwise direction is I1. So the current flowing from 2 to 3 will be what? Minus I1. Okay, the current flowing in this direction, anti-clockwise direction, will be minus I1. And the impedances we are encountering between 2 and 3 are Z3, Z dash. Okay, Z1 HIE parallel combination, we already named it as Z dash, isn't it? So the impedances encountering are Z3 and Z dash. The current is minus I1. So what will be the voltage V0? The voltage between the terminals 2 and 3, output voltage, what will that be? Please answer. Yes, somebody's mic is on, it is creating disturbance. First, please turn off your mics only when you are answering. Then only turn on. Okay, fine. Now it is good. So please answer what will be the expression for output voltage. What will be the expression for output voltage? Please answer. Yes. The current is, okay, the current is in this the anti-clockwise direction minus I1. The impedances we are encountering are Z3 and Z dash. Okay. So the output voltage will be minus I1 multiplied by Z3 plus Z dash. Okay. Output voltage will be minus I1 multiplied with Z3 and Z dash. Okay. Output voltage is minus I1 multiplied by Z3 plus Z dash. We know Z dash is parallel combination of Z1 and HIE. Okay. Z dash is the parallel combination of, we named this parallel combination of HIE and Z1 as Z dash. So Z dash is HIE into Z1 by HIE plus Z1. Okay. So we are replacing Z dash with Z1 into HIE by Z1 plus HIE. Remaining everything as it is. Okay. Then we are further simplifying. We are taking a common denominator, Z1 plus HIE. Then this Z1 HIE as it is. Now this Z1 plus HIE we have to multiply in the numerator to get the common denominator, isn't it? Simple school level mathematics. We are taking common denominator. So Z1 HIE, here this Z1 into Z3 we will get, and HIE into Z3. Okay. Next, the feedback voltage we have to find. To get beta, beta is feedback voltage by output voltage. Okay, output voltage we already got. How to get feedback voltage? Again, we have to see here. The feedback voltage is nothing but, okay, the voltage between 1 and 3. So please remember, input voltage, feedback voltage, both are same for oscillator. Okay. Feedback voltage also we are taking between 1 and 3. Input voltage also we are taking between 1 and 3. Okay. Now, already we got output voltage in terms of I1. Now, this input voltage, if we want to get in terms of I1, how we can get that? Okay, we can get it as, okay, we can get it as minus I1, the current entering the first terminal, multiplied with the parallel combination of HIE and Z1. Okay, so the feedback voltage will be current entering first terminal, isn't it? We have to take entering, current entering, terminal 1. But current leaving terminal 1 is I1. So current entering terminal 1 will be minus I1. So minus I1 multiplied with the parallel combination of Z1 and HIE will be the feedback voltage. So feedback voltage is minus I1 multiplied with the parallel combination of Z1 and HIE. Parallel combination, you know, product by sum. So minus I1 into Z1 HIE by Z1 plus HIE. Two impedances in parallel path. Okay, so we got V0, we got feedback voltage. Beta is nothing but feedback voltage divided by output voltage. So feedback voltage minus I1 into Z1 HIE by Z1 plus HIE by output voltage. Divided by output voltage means, okay, x by y, we can write it as x multiplied with 1 by y. Okay. So now dividing by I0. So I can take reciprocal of this entire term. Reciprocal of minus I1 will become 1 by minus I1. Okay. Next, I have to exchange numerator and denominator. So Z1 plus HIE I am writing in the numerator. Denominator we are writing Z1 HIE plus Z1 Z3 plus Z3 HIE. Okay. And here in the denominator, here we can take HIE common. So if we take HIE common, Z1 plus Z3 plus Z1 Z3. Okay, so what we are doing, beta is nothing but feedback voltage by output voltage. So we are dividing this by this. This by this means this one as it is we are taking divided VFB by V0. Okay, by V0 means I can take reciprocal of V0 and multiply. Both are same, isn't it? X by Y is nothing but X multiplied by 1 by Y. Okay. So V0 we are taking reciprocal, multiplying with VFB, that will give us VFB by V0. This is the expression. Now if you observe this expression, minus I1 in the numerator, minus I1 in the denominator will cancel. Z1 plus HIE here in the denominator, Z1 plus HIE here in the numerator, they also will cancel. So only thing will remain will be Z1 HIE and this term in the denominator. So Z1 HIE by HIE into Z1 plus Z3 plus Z1 Z3. Okay. So what are getting cancelled? Minus I1 is getting cancelled. Z1 plus HIE here, Z1 plus HIE here, they are getting cancelled. Okay. So what will remain? Z1 HIE by HIE into Z1 plus Z3 plus Z1 Z3. This is the expression for beta. Just now we derived the expression for AV. AV is minus HFE ZL by HIE, where ZL is nothing but this term. Okay. So now we got AV, we got beta. We can directly get the condition for sustained oscillations, which is A beta equal to 1. Okay. So A beta equal to 1 we have to do now. So what is A? A is minus HFE ZL by HIE. Okay. So minus HFE by HIE into ZL. We can write it, we can say like this. minus HFE by HIE into ZL. Minus HFE by HIE, this entire term is ZL. Okay, this entire term is ZL. So minus HFE by HIE into ZL. This is A. Beta just now we got Z1 HIE by HIE into Z1 plus Z3 plus Z1 Z3. So this is beta, okay. Z1 HIE by HIE into Z1 plus Z3 plus Z1 Z3. A already we wrote, beta we are writing, okay. And we have to equate it to 1, A beta equal to 1. This is the condition for sustained oscillations, isn't it? A beta equal to 1. So now let us see what all we can simplify here. This is A, this is beta, okay. Here in the denominator, HIE into Z1 plus Z3 plus Z1 Z3 we have. The same term we have here in the numerator. HIE into Z1 plus Z3 plus Z1 Z3. So this big term, this big term will cancel, okay. Then HIE we have here in the numerator. Here also we have HIE. So this HIE will cancel, okay. So this is A, which we got. This is beta, which we got. We are taking A beta equal to 1. What all are getting cancelled? This term is getting cancelled. This term is getting cancelled. HIE is getting cancelled. HIE. Remaining we will write. So this term cancelled. Right? So numerator minus HFE Z2 Z1. HIE also cancelled. Okay. So only minus HFE Z2 Z1 will remain. Minus HFE Z2 Z1 remaining in the numerator. Then denominator, only this term is remaining, isn't it? Only this term. So HIE into Z1 plus Z2 plus Z3 plus Z1 Z2 plus Z1 Z3. Okay. A beta we are taking, common terms, common whatever is we can cancel out, we are cancelling that. And the condition for sustained oscillations is A beta equal to 1. So we are doing equal to 1. Okay. Now let us cross multiply the denominator to the other side. So we will have minus HFE Z1 Z2 is equal to this term. Minus HFE Z1 Z2 is equal to this term. Okay. We got this relation. Now send this negative term to LHS. It becomes plus, isn't it? So remaining as it is. HI into Z1 plus Z2 plus Z3 as it is. Z1, Z2 as it is. Okay. Here, this term, already we have Z1, Z2 here. One more Z